You said that there was no way I'd ever find love with Shinku, didn't you?
そうだな。そんなことを言ったな。で、自分のその目で彼女を見てみてどう思った？彼女はお前に、お前がどうしても知りたいと願っていたらしいそれを教えてはくれそうか？もうお前にもわかるだろう。お前が求める恋とは、自分が一方的に誰かを好きだからといって、それだけでは完全として出来上がるようなものじゃない。相手も自分と相当量に好きをこちらへ発信してくれないことには完成しない。それくらいのことは理解できているだろう。
I think so.
それならどうだった？改めて問おう。あの子はお前に恋をしてくれそうか？
Frankly, I thought it was impossible. I was convinced that Yuma already held a special place in her heart, and there was no room for me, Kanoe Yuma, with the other one, who was her childhood friend. Wait. Oh, God damn it. I was convinced that Yuma already held a special place in her heart, right? That the Yuma she's talking about there is the childhood friend one. And there was no room for me. Kanoe Yuma, the other one. The other one who was her childhood friend. If it just didn't have that second line, that it would have worked. Whenever she spoke of him, her face lit up with joy, but yet seemed so somber at the same time. At least that was how it appeared to me. But I might not be able to fulfill my wish.
そうか。お前は恋することができない。そうなると、私はお前からあの人を返してもらうことができないということになる。そういう契約だから、それは非常に困るんだ。だから私はこういった事態を避けるためにと考えて、その本をあの場所から持ち出してくるようにとお前に言ったんだ。この世界が終わってしまった後に、世界そのものを記述するために用意されていた、その本をな。その本さえあれば、お前は実に自分本位な恋愛を都合よく体験していくことができるだろう。たとえそのすべてが偽物であったとしても。まず、情報を整理しようか。お前は恋をしてみたい。私はそのサポートをしなければいけない。しかしお前が恋するには、この実世界では不十分。なぜなら二階堂真空は、お前を好きになってくれないと、お前自身がそう感じているからだ。そういった問題を解決するには、お前の持つその本の力を使えばいい。それで、一つ目の問題は解決される。
You would be using that book to craft a fake world, the witch explained. A world with a fake Nikaido Shinku, who would love you unconditionally without question.
そしてもう一つ。解決すべき大きな大きな問題がある。管理者を失い、混乱状態のただ中にあるあの古書店だ。その異常を正常に戻さなくてはいけない。もうこれ以上、悲しい思いをする人たちを増やさないためにも。そういった異常を正すには、お前があの場所に戻り、再び管理者として長い長い一生涯をあそこで過ごせば、それで救われる。何もかも元に戻るんだ。その点に異論はないか？ いや、異論なんてものは認めやしない。絶対にだ。そういった何もかもをお前に心で理解させるため、私はお前に、あの子たちが消えてなくなる瞬間に立ち会わせたんだ。その瞬間が訪れるまで、ここでずっと待っていたんだ。私は、あの子たちを犠牲にしたんだ。
I need to return to that place, which I abandoned in order to fix the anomaly. Then, I can save Kana and Mio, and everyone who was taken away because of this. If I used this book to create a fake world, though, also I could experience love, then I wouldn't be able to save those two, so I can't do that.
そうだね。その通り。だけどそのためには、お前があの場所へ戻る帰り道を確立しなくてはいけない。今のお前は人間であって人間ではない。非常に半端な状態だ。しかし、半端な状態とは言いながらも、お前の肉体そのものは赤い血の流れる人間であることは確かだ。なぜならお前は、初夏に収まった本を適当に引き抜いて、そこに収まっていた誰かの肉体を拝借したからだ。この世界に物理干渉するためには、肉体が必要だからといって。そういうわけで、今のお前にはあの場所を支配していた頃のような力はない。人間になりすまし、彼女と恋するために、それを手放したからだ。だから自由にあの場所を出入りすることが、今のお前にはできない。
Because I'm partially human? Right, the witch said with a nod.
そこで私は、お前に問わなくちゃいけない。私たち人間が、そして人間に属されるお前が、あの場所に至るにはどうすればいいんだ？ただ命尽きるまで、生涯を生き抜けば、それでいいのか？どうした？何を黙り込んでる？何か不都合でもあるのか？
I shook my head. I'm changing my wish.
変える？どういうことだ？
I'll give up on finding love. Instead, I'll fulfill Shinku's wish. I'll heal the suffering hearts of her students in her place. I'll fulfill the wishes of all the girls who were whisked away to the library due to its rampage. Shinku and I, the two of us, will grant them what they wanted most. That's the only way I'll be able to return to that place.
唯一の方法？どういうことだ？そうか。言いたくないか。
All you need to know is that I'm going to fulfill Shinku's wish. I'll devote everything to that. I'll liberate the wounded hearts of her her beloved students. I'm doing it. In doing that, I'll be able to return to the library.
何を言ってる？その対象はもうこの世界には一人たりともいやしないだろう。カナもミオも誰もいない。あの場所が全員連れ去ってしまったからだ。
I know. That's not... There's no possible way for me to fulfill Shinku's wish in this world. So I'll start by creating a false version of it. I wasn't... Nah. You cannot tell me that the world... Holy shit, no. Fucking, oh my fucking god. Oh. That's what happened. No. No. So the reason why Yuma lost 5 years of his memories is because it's because all of the shit that happens in the all the shit that happens that we've experienced up until this point was in the fucking in a fake world. I'll be honest with you. When they brought up the fake world bit, I was like, surely they wouldn't do that. And well, I've got hope, but I realize now that it would make sense. Right? It would make sense why Yuma has the same issue as this Yuma, right? The fake Yuma, but in that world, no one's disappearing because it's a fake world that was created. And now that he's fulfilled the wishes of Mio, Kana, Tsukasa, and Kyo, he's back. Right? He's back here. And it's been 5 years. Right? And... oh... nah, no way. I'm sure... My god. This country fulfills the wishes and dreams of all its citizens, but instead, I wanted to let Shinku fulfill their dreams. And for that to happen, I need to create a world in which she can. It'll be one stupid ploy to fulfill my own self-satisfaction, of course. My own desire to allow Shinku to be happy. I know that, but still, I just want her to be able to attain happiness, even if it's only momentary. Even if it's only momentary. To me, that was the sole thing I could do to atone for the unforgivable crimes I've done to her. So to that end, I'm going to call upon the power of the book I took from that place. It was initially supposed to be a plan B in case I couldn't get Shinku to fall in love with me, but I have to use it now.
そのための世界を設定するということか？お前自身が恋をするためではなくて。
Yes. I took away her family and all the people she cared about. I left her all alone in this world because of my own selfish actions. How could I possibly continue to pursue my own wish after learning the truth about everything? That would be more heinous than anything I've done so far. You know, I'll give the game this. I didn't expect this, alright? I didn't expect this because of external factors, right? I thought that something will happen and the world will essentially reset, right? And then we get the events of Irasekai. And then after Suzu tells Yuma the story, and then we continue on through that route, right? And I thought that was the case and never even expected that they would have that all the events that we've seen didn't happen. Right? I brought up that the routes didn't happen. Right? I was like, they happened in a different way than what we initially saw. Right? But now nothing happened. Actually, and None of those events transpired because none of it was real. Essentially, right? But the reason I never expected the fake world shit was because of the sequels. Right? If you didn't know, Isekai has 2 sequels, and I'm not going to spoil what happens in them. Not what happens. There's some shit on the covers that spoils stuff. Right? And I'm not going to talk about that. You can look it up yourself if you're curious, but you know, I'll eventually get to playing them whenever the fuck. Either they'll get translated or I just buy them and then play with a translator or whatever thing. Right? Regardless. Because of the sequels, I didn't expect that the world that we were playing through before Shinku's route wasn't real. Right? Anyway.
なるほど。彼女への贖罪というわけか。それがどんなに茶番であろうとも、シンクの満足感を得られるのなら、それで構わないと言ったな。
I'm changing my wish so that it'll be fulfilled at the point when Shinku finds happiness. Whatever my wish may be, if the end result after it's fulfilled is me returning to the library and living a secluded life there for all eternity, then I'd rather that wish be for somebody else. It's all I can do at this junction.
それがシンクの願いを選ぶってところは、まあ悪くない選択じゃないか。もしかすると恋ってものがほんの少しは分かってきたのかもしれないな。意地悪な神様。それではここでもう一度だけ問題をまとめよう。その本にお前が形にすべき願いを叶えられる都合のいい世界を初期設定する。それは本来ならばこの実世界でお前とシンクが恋することが困難であると分かった場合、それでもどうしてもお前がそれを望むのであれば、お前がシンクと恋できるに最適なフェイクの世界を構築するためのものだった。本来、あくまでも保険のようなものだったんだ、その本は。だがしかし、ここに来てお前は恋をしたいという願いを取り下げて、全く新しい願いを叶えていくことを決めた。それは、シンクの願いを叶えること。
That, and to return to the library, so I can save Kana, Mio, and all the others who were taken against their will.
そうだな。私には教えてくれない。唯一の方法でな。
Look, there are still elements that I don't understand at the moment. And that's the only reason I hope that the fake world isn't what actually happened, right? That
ともかくそういうわけで、今から私たちはシンクの願いを叶えるにより最適な偽物の世界を構築していくことになる。
Because, like, the question stands, if everything that we've experienced as an audience up until when I ended Tsukasa's route, right, if all of that was fake, then why is it so elaborate that that Tsukasa and Kyo are from different worlds, and that different worlds exist, right? And, there's so many things that are unnecessary, right? No, that's not it. No, I don't know.
そのためにはまず、お前の持っている世界ノートにふさわしい物語を記述していく必要がある。未完成で構わない。今すぐに完成させては意味がない。今必要なのは、あくまでも世界の初期設定。それだけだ。その疑似世界のモチーフは別に何かにこだわる必要はない。全く新しい舞台を作り上げてしまっても構わないし、お前が好きなどこかの場所をトレースしてきても構わない。だがまあ、その偽物はこの世界を救うためのものだ。基本をこの世界で統一していても悪くはないだろう。
Alright.
ともかくそういうわけで、この世界とよく似ているけれど、でもどこか違う。新しい偽物の世界を物語として作り出し、それを本格的に起動させたなら。
Right. Once I do that, this world will be frozen in time. The world's comprised of identical people, and things can't coexist at the same time. Axis. Well, yeah, actually, that. Okay, now they've brought that up. The fuck is Ototsugahama? That. Okay, so it is. So all of the different worlds is exclusive to the book, the fake world, right? They just said that identical people and things can't coexist at the same time because it would, for whatever, yeah. Everything in this world will have to grind to a halt. Time, life, and even death.
お前が連れ去られた全員をあの場所から解放する席を残しておくと、そういうことでもある。
I nodded. Okay. So we aren't outside of the fake world. If that's the case, we're still in the fake world. The Yuma in the Flash, in present day is still in the fake world. Right? Now, I'm going to create this fake world and fulfill Shinku's wish. And once I'm done, I'll return to that place. I took out my book. The book which the witch called the World Notebook. Although that name sounded a bit cringeworthy to me.
ああ、そうだな。共に儚くも美しい。色とりどりの世界を創造し、構築していこう。私たちがこれからを生きていくのに最適な、その世界をな。
I was going to make a joke about how the World Notebook is cringeworthy, and I was like, and the colorful world isn't, and then she just name drops the fucking game. Thank you, Suzu. Me and you?
ああ、私も一緒にその世界へ行こうと思ってる。お前を影に日向にサポートする人間も必要だろ？ロールで言うところのメンターだ。そういうわけだから、私もお前と一緒に、そのフェイクで生きる。
Alright. So I won't be alone there, if I have you with me. The thought was, for some reason, very reassuring to me. The two of us took as much time as necessary to filling in the details of this new fake world in the book.
私は、その偽物の世界について、お前に関する重要な情報以外は見ないことにするよ。もちろん、その場で生きる自分自身についても、 あまり多くを知らないようにしようと思う。
Yeah, and then you should have stopped listen to it. You shouldn't have let Yuma cook. All right, he wrote some fucking shit like Kyo lives in this world where there's these things called seedlings, and this world also has Kemono Mimi people, and and there's two families that can control these seedlings, but for different purposes. There's the Kirishimas that can control seedlings to find things, and the Shikishimas who can control seedlings to find people, blah blah blah. And then the most and then Kyo's brother is named Renya. He's blind for some fucking reason, and he falls in love with this fox woman named Haku. And in this world, for some reason, it's humans and they're discriminated, and then they have a baby, and then Haku disappears in Kana's story. All right, and then Tsukasa lives in this world where people don't need to work, but the amount of money the government gives them isn't enough if you need life-changing surgery and life-saving surgery, and and this woman, grandma, he just names the grandma. Grandma saved Tsukasa's life by changing her organ with Tsukasa, and Tsukasa is in debt, so she goes to Kazatsukuhama to make money. And then Mio is from this other world named Ototsukahama. I know, right? Genius. And I gotta stop. This stalling is not a good thing. This stalling is making me not get through the book fast enough. Yeah, the book, as in the diary. Why is that?
私は神になりたいわけじゃないんだ。新しく生きる世界の中で、その先に起こること、出会う人物の秘密、その人となり、そういったものを何もかも全部知った上で、それでもなお澄ました顔をしていられるほど、私は大人になれそうにはないってことだ。
Like, did he really write that in the book there is a world where the earth has been destroyed, and the only solution for these humans in this destroyed world is to send unstable rockets filled with children to the moon, and none of them reach the moon, and they all explode and rain shrapnel all. Like, excuse me? What do you mean by that?
私は魔女で十分だってことだよ。その世界で生きる私は、他の人間たちとほぼ一緒であまり多くの情報を持たず、未来とは不確定であるものにしておいてくれ。
Alright.
だけどな、一つだけお願いがあるんだ。
You do?
ああ。それは、
As per the witch's urging, I included the person whom she most wanted to see in this new world. Oh, it's Chigure. The precious person who I'd taken from her. The person whom she'd wanted to take back from me.
どうした？手が止まってるぞ。何か気になることでもあったのか？
Sorry, I just want to offer an excuse if you'll allow me.
言い訳？なんだそれは。
I thought I was doing you all a favor by bringing you to the library For example, it used to be that I took only one person per year from this world, but I soon learned that that wasn't enough.
どういうことだ?
I made a promise to those souls in the library before they began their lives in this world. I assured them that their dreams, their wishes would be fulfilled, and that they would find happiness. Then after that, we would write the story of their new fate together. Finally, I would give them the power to make their most heartfelt dreams come true. Whenever the time came, they could strive for all they had to accomplish them. All they had to accomplish them. They could strive with all they had to accomplish them. Okay, no, I just said it weirdly. That's the promise I made with every soul. However, now and then, I'd find that the souls I sent off became lonely, either because they felt isolated from those around them, or because they had no one around them. The fate we wrote together didn't pan out as planned. There was never anything written in there about isolation or loneliness, but that was undoubtedly what happened to some of them. It was like something had fundamentally malfunctioned. That was why I regularly took those souls who had been inadvertently plagued by sadness and loneliness. Then we would rewrite their fate together again. This time with a wish attached to that, so that the same thing wouldn't happen twice. I'd only wanted to save those of... Wait. I'd only wanted to save those of you who'd become lonely. Wait, I'd only wanted to save those of you who'd become lonely, but it would seem that I was going about it the wrong way. Yeah.
なるほどね。
Me too. The which side?
でも、気のせいかな。私たち人間には、あまりにもお前が言うところのエラーが多すぎるように思うけど。
There are no shortage of people in this world who suffered from loneliness, the witch explained. Even if they had someone next to them, when they went to bed at night, someone would tell them good morning when they woke up. Human beings are naturally inclined to feel lonely.
とてもわがままで贅沢な生き物だからな。人間っていうのは。ともかく、お前は本来、孤独を感じている人間しかあの場所へ連れて行かないと、そういうことなんだな。少なくとも、あの場所がその力を暴走させてしまう以前、まだお前があの場所にいた頃は、そうだったんだな。
Yes. I and Yuma were exceptions, of course. I took them purely out of my own self-interest. That was the general rule I abided by. Once a human had been marked to be taken, God would visit them in their dream. There was a clear sadness in Kana's eyes as she explained to me how Shinku had told her that. However, the truth wasn't quite as they understood it. It wasn't a death sentence by any means. This is what those humans were told in their dreams. I'm sorry. I know your life has been fraught with hardships and suffering, but don't cry anymore. I'll bring you to my domain, and you can start over from there. Do not be sad, for you aren't alone. I was now able to recall the reality of that. For some odd reason, though, it seemed as though my intentions were misinterpreted. Perhaps I hadn't been able to offer solace to those lonely souls as I'd hoped. Humans were creatures that regularly dreamed, but prolonged dreaming was also something that brought them fear. Which must have been why after I left and the chaos started, and I saw that eerie golden feather chasing people and cornering them, they panicked.
そうか。やっぱりな。あの人の寂しさを埋めるには、私じゃ全然足りなかったってことか。
The witch smiled with a hint of self-derision. I still don't know the word. Still don't know how to pronounce it.
となると、お前はあの人の孤独を救ってくれようとしたわけか。だとすると、私はお前を少し勘違いしていたのかもしれないな。
I mean, you have every right to be mad.
もしかしたら、憎むべくでなく、お前には感謝すべきなのかもな。ありがとう。あの人を救ってくれて、感謝している。
I appreciate you saying that. It makes me feel a lot better. Still though, my intentions weren't properly conveyed through my actions, and that was my mistake. I continued to work the story of the World Notebook by myself. As for the witch, I had her turn her back to me as I did so, since she had wanted to go in without any prior knowledge. Just like the children who would play parts in the story, he would live in that world with the burden of not knowing what the future held. The girl with the appearance of Kana, who bears the pain of being unable to live with her mother. The girl who looks like Mio, who bears the resentment toward her own shadow after being separated from her parents. And all the others I've yet to meet with their varied complex issues. You just listed 2. You put 2 more characters in, and apparently you were too lazy to list off the other 2. Shinku had saved all of those souls, healed their pains and sorrows, and that would make all of this worth it. I firmly believed as such. I'm sorry, but rest assured that Shinku and I will save all of you. I created a simple setting from the world while fleshing out specific personalities and backstories from the humans who lived there. All I'm saying is that the only reason the humans exist in this world is to serve Tsukasa's route. They served zero purpose in every other route, including the common route. There was Kana and Mio, and then Tsukasa and Kyo, whom I had yet to meet, and that's why they're side characters, because they aren't important. Ayumu doesn't count either, because he's a guy. Because he sneezed. Never mind it. After that, I created settings for the 2 of us who lived alongside them. The witch and I will work together to save those who are targeted by the wicked anomaly plaguing the Great Library. We would cross paths with many different people over the course of our work, and we would never save any of them. I wrote ambiguous, simplistic details in the notebook so that much about our future wouldn't be set in stone. All I needed was to build the foundation of that world, nothing more. In this case, the very setting of it was intentionally supposed to be ambiguous and incomplete. Once I'd finished writing down the parts the witch didn't want to know, I had her turn to face me again.
私たちが決めるのは夏休みまでだ。ここから先は、実際にこの劇画のような偽物の世界を生きるお前が、その未来を作り出していけばいい。
Why?
決められた未来を、ただ決められたように漫然と過ごしていくことを、人間っていうのは得てして嫌うものなんだよ。大抵はね。
I see. It makes sense. With that in mind, we only wrote what would happen up until a certain year's summer vacation. After that, the future would be decided by my own actions and decisions. All in all, I was quite proud of the fake world that we'd created together, and that's why he had to save everyone during summer vacation. Yet, at the same time, something distinctly felt wrong, felt missing. In any case, Anna, Mio, and those girls I'd yet to meet, they were all dear, very dear and precious to me, including the girls that I didn't meet. After that, I began to create the setting for the people whom the witch loved. Excluding I. Because fuck that bitch. Then I understood. So this is the person you wanted me to return to you?
そうだよ。何か文句あるのかよ。
I didn't know you were into older guys, Suzu. The witch pursed her lips, cheeks flushed pink. It struck me as kind of cute, especially considering how intimidated I was by her at first. Whenever she spoke about the person she loved, though, she was more endearing. It all made sense to me now. This was also the work of love, and it made me a little jealous of her. So I took her body too. Never mind. You really loved him, didn't you? What's the matter?
好きだなんて、それはあれなんだよ。
ん？
ただちょっとあいつには世話になったから、だから助けてやりたいなってそう思っただけなんだ、私は。
And this is why we didn't get a Suzu around. Because she loves another man. In the way she was fidgeting, I began to think, and also because, you know, she joined us in the book, but that's beside the point. It's because yeah. Was that really all there was to it? It sure didn't seem that way to me. I genuinely found her cute at that moment. Humans were truly lovable creatures, and I was reminded of that. Though there seems to be quite a few contradictions in the setting that you wanted. Considering your ages and positions, is this really the sort of relationship you want with this man?
いいからさっさと帰っちまえって。それはあくまでも偽物の世界なんだ。そこにいるのは本物ではなくて、あくまでも写本だ。
Yeah, so what if Shigure is 30 and Suzu's in high school? It's fine, it's a fake world, alright? It's hotter that way, what? So let me insert some of my fantasies if I want to, she continued.
私は
ん？
ゆくゆくはお前にあの人を返してもらえればそれでいいんだ。その先だなんて今はもう望んじゃいない。だからさ、こんな妄想みたいな世界の中でくらい恥ずかしい夢を叶えられるかもしれないって、そんな望みを持たせてくれても いいじゃないか。
Yeah, but like, unfortunately for Suzu, she kind of forgot to include the part where Shigure has to exist after summer vacation. Because outside of Kana's route, he doesn't show up in anyone else's route. And that's crazy. If that was what she wanted, I had no objections. At least for now. However, I'm sorry. Whatever the reason, I still took away someone precious to you. But please believe me when I say I didn't do it with any malicious intent.
もういい。そのことはもういいんだ。終わった会話を蒸し返そうとするな。所詮私では、あの人の寂しさを埋めることができなかったと。そういうことなんだろうからさ。
Yeah, so actually it's kind of your fault, Suzu. Never mind.
あの人を前から返してもらったとしても、本物のあの人が私を好きになってくれることはないんだって。わかった。
Did Yuma also write in the book that when Suzu grows up, she has giant tits and is a massive pervert who always bullies Yuma?
お前は孤独のただ中にある人間しか連れて行かない。あの人が連れて行かれたのは、あの場所が異常をきたす。それより以前だ。
Or is that just her personality to begin with, and the only reason she's different is because she despises this world? Something like that.
ということは、自然。いつもあの人は孤独だったってことだ。私がそばにいるだけじゃ、足りなかったってことなんだ。それがこれ以上ないくらいに証明された。ただ、それだけのことなんだよ。
The witch emitted a shallow sigh accompanied by a feeble smile. It hurts, but I just want to accept it.
私は、あの人に振り向いてもらおうなんて思わない。好きだなんて言ってもらおうとも思わない。ただ、もう少しだけ、私はあの人と一緒に過ごすことができたなら、それでいいんだ。
Yeah, but you know, it would have been nice if you got to spend some time with him out during summer vacation too. The summer vacation parts. You just wanted to be with him?
そして、願わくば、大きくなった私を見てくれたなら。
Well, shit. Listen, alright, compared to Haku, you got no chances, that's all I'm gonna say. Hey. You mind if I step outside and go for a walk to collect my thoughts? I want to gather as much detailed information as possible, so I can make the fake world resemble this one as much as physically possible.
いいぞ。だが時間はもうあまりない。あの場所がいつ私たちを標的にするかわからないからだ。だけど焦らずゆっくりな。これで舞台設定は十分だと思ったら、またここへ戻ってこい。
Alright. I'll try to take in as much as I can, so our fake world is as close to this one as possible. I turned around, ready to leave the room.
なあ、ユーマ。
Huh? It was the first time she'd called me by that name. I turned around. What do you need?
本当に、それでいいのか？
What do you mean?
恋をすること。お前は自分の願いを放棄することを選択して、本当に良かったのか？
Yeah, I am. I have no regrets. Like I explained earlier, I've brought so much suffering to so many people, so if I continued to push forward with my wish, ignoring others' happiness in favor of my own, well, that would be the height of stupidity.
そうか。
And it hurts.
痛い？
I nodded. I feel a pain whenever Shinku starts to talk about the other Yuma. It's like an aching in my heart. As long as the other Yuma exists within Shinku's heart, he'll never fall in love with me. I had been right. Sometimes love can be painful. Sometimes when you thought of the person you love, your chest would ache. This isn't what I wanted. I clutched my chest, which was throbbing painfully every time I thought of Shinku. Love, affection, falling for another person. Why is it so painful, so heartbroken? This isn't what I wanted to learn about.
だからお前は願いを変える。それでいいんだな。
I nodded. I want to return to that place. I'm done with all of this. I want to go back to being blissfully unaware of everything, and just sleep peacefully for a long, long time.
そうか。諦めちゃうのか。お
He
前は
became an incel. Falling in love with Shinku made him an incel. I'll still uphold my promise to you, though once I return to that place, I'll give him back to you. I'll be back in a bit.
あ、
I just wanted to let you know that I quite enjoyed talking to you. With that, I exited the book-filled room. That book-filled room. I walked around the town, my World Notebook in hand. I still have to say, the World Notebook is such a weird name. A little cringeworthy too. Those idle thoughts drifted through my head as I walked around, jotting down the details of this town. The wind turbines lining the mountainside. Those towering beacons which served to warn us when the wind from the beyond had begun to blow. It'd be nice if they could serve as a symbol for peace and tranquility in our new world. I peered up at the sky. That fractured crimson sphere would no doubt appear again tonight. The relic left behind from those crazy ambitious adults who lived in this land where all dreams came true. That moon which Shinku both hated and loved. I don't want the moon to be an ominous red color. I want it to be a nice, pretty color to light up the night sky. That way Shinku will be able to love it without hating it as well. But it's still going to be destroyed. Just don't forget that part, you know. I couldn't create the spheroid moon, alright? That'd be unrealistic. It's destroyed. It's destroyed in this world. Also, if at all possible, I wanted all the townspeople whom I had never known to be kind and caring individuals, and only relevant in one person's route. I walked into the lighthouse and scaled the railings. On the top, I narrowed my eyes. The breeze felt pleasant against my skin. And this will be served as a plot point to get Kana to be introduced to Yuma when she falls off the lighthouse and almost dies. Twice. Then suddenly, I remembered a period in my life from long, long ago. I used to be a mere human myself. I mean, yeah, we figured. Not that I remember much of anything from that point in time now. I had suffered from loneliness. I was going to say... I was gonna say, if he was like, and then I came up to this lighthouse and fell off of the like, Jesus Christ, Yuma, you're telling me that you based Kana's route off of the fact that you jumped from that you had an accident on the same light, and like then all of a sudden one day I was whisked away to the library, whereupon the then manager passed his duties along to me. The fuck? That's allowed? After being robbed of my freedom and spending tens upon thousands of years there, my humanity eventually eroded away. At some point, I realized this. Over the course of my time there, I had morphed into a different sort of being, one most optimal to be the manager of a library. An amorphous blob that does not age or require sustenance via food or water. Why was I so lonely in my previous life? I couldn't for the life of me remember the particulars in that regard. All I could recall was my strong desire for anyone to love me. My life was drawing to its end, and I was all alone. I just wanted one single person to say to me, I love you. That was why I wanted to try falling in love. I couldn't help but reflect back on my previous life as I gazed out at this dying world's ocean. I'd have to be an idiot to give up on everything right now. If I jumped off these railings and plunged downward, perhaps I could make it back to the library. And then he's like, no, what if I use that as a plot point to get Kana and Yuma to meet for the first time after they met for the first time when Kana was a child and fell off of the lighthouse, but that at the end was nah. Fucking. I stared out into the distance with my with an unfocused gaze as I entertained those crazy thoughts. A voice came to me from below. I looked down to find Shinku standing there.
Oi, そんなところに立ってると危ないぞ。足を滑らしたりしたらどうするんだよ。
And then a light bulb pops in his head. I have an idea. Lights up in his head. Pops up. Never mind. Shinku.
いいか、そこを絶対に動くなよ。今そっちへ行くから。
Oh, how I wanted to jump into her arms. I could still recall when she had held me against her bosom yesterday. She smelled so good. All of a sudden, I felt my body tipping forward.
Oi! Oi! 何やってるんだよ、バカ!
My feet slipped from the railings, and I began to fall. Gravity acted equally on everyone and everything after all. I closed my eyes and braced for impact. However, a tree branch next to the lighthouse interrupted my fall, softening my landing enough so that I came out with my life still intact. My brother in Christ, he used this fucking... It was meant to be a joke, Yuma. Why did you write this into Kana's backstory, you fucking dumbass?
Yuma, 大丈夫か?
You know what? I guess it's better that he based it off of experience. I couldn't feel such soft hands holding me. I could feel such soft hands holding me. Eventually, I opened my eyes. Iku's face entered my vision, her eyes swimming with tears.
どうしてこんなことするんだよ、お前は。
My head rested atop her lap, as she continued to shed tears. The tree branches had scraped against multiple parts of my body, and it hurt terribly. That and Shiku's tears made my chest ache. Thankfully, that tree had been in my path. If it hadn't, I more than likely would have died. Actually, you know what? A fall from the lighthouse might be an interesting way to meet someone for the first time. Fuck off. See, this is the thing. He wrote it as Kana meeting Yuma for the first time as a kid, and then he was like, wait, that's not enough. What if she does it again? Like, excuse me? And then, right, what if, hear me out, hear me out, what if she does it again, and then, but this time, that's when she falls in love with Yuma. Like, excuse me? What the fuck? This is why I told Suzu to not let Yuma cook, because this is the shit that he wrote. I beg of you, save us from this place. I decided that I would write down the promise I made to Kana in the book, so that I would never forget it. It'd make it so that I would dream of it every night. That way, it would always be with me.
何を言ってるんだ。出会いの一つ。大丈夫か？頭打ったりしてないか？
I'm fine, I replied, getting to my feet. There's something I want to ask you about. More importantly, is that okay?
それよりもって、本当に大丈夫なのか?
Thanks, but I'm fine, really. You know, it's just I just need some medical attention, you know, that I just need to be attended to medically, that's all. Oh, wait, there's no doctors around, is there? I guess I'll die.
そうか。
She rubbed her eyes.
大バカ野郎が。
She jabbed her finger into my head.
今回は運が良かったからいいけれど、二度とあんなことするなよ。じゃないと、お前のこと、私は大嫌いになるぞ。
Sorry.
わかればいいんだ。というか、本当にあんなところで何をしてたんだよ、お前は。
Just taking some time to think about some things.
考え事?
Can I ask you about that thing now?
ああ、そうだった。何を聞きたいんだ?
I want you to tell me more about Kana and Mio, and all the other kids in your class, whom I never got the chance to meet, but only Tsukasa, Kyo, and Ayumu. Alright, the other kids after that, they didn't matter.
それはもう構わないが、どうしてそんなことを知りたがるんだ?
It's for my diary.
日記?
You have a diary? I wanted to write about everything I've experienced in this town in my diary, so I want to know more in order to do that.
そうなのか?
I nodded.
日記なのに、会ったこともない人のことも書くのか?
Yeah.
まあいいか。ともかくそういうことなら少し街を歩きながら話そうか。そうした方がいろいろと伝えやすいように思うから。
He also wrote in the diary that the Yuma in this fake world apparently hates writing in his diary so much that without Shinku, he wouldn't want to write in this diary so much. He wouldn't write anything in the diary. By the way, are you done with your research for the day, Shinku?
まあ、まだ途中だよ。ちょっとコーヒーが切れたから、部屋に取りに戻ってたところだったんだ。
Ah, and that's when you spotted me.
そういうこと。もう一度言うけど、あんなことはもうよせよ。冗談でも悪ふざけでもダメだ。あんなのは。
I won't. Shinku proceeded to tell me about all sorts of things, bringing our little world one step closer to completion. Kana, Mio, Ayumu, Tsukasa and Kyo, a gloomy girl named Kanzaki Toru. All of these girls held enormous pain in their hearts and needed Shinku to save them, excluding Ayumu because he's not a girl. Also, once the story was completed, I wanted to give it a fitting title. Yeah, it's called Iratori Dori Sekai. Well, Notebook just doesn't quite cut it in my mind. Shinku, there's one last thing I want you to tell me about.
何をだ?
Say that we were given a magical wondrous power which allowed you to save everyone you just told me about. What kind of power do you think that would be? I knew he was going to bring this up. I thought he was going to bring this up at the lighthouse, so I was like in the CG, I was going to be like, the question would have been like, hey Shinku, what kind of if you had a magical power, what would it be? And then she'd be like, oh, the ability to heal people. But then for some reason she included that you'd lose your memories, or well, Yuma included that you'd lose a bit of your memory if you use the power, because that makes sense. Even though at the end of the day, it didn't really change anything, did it?
不思議で特別な力?
Exactly. What kind of power would you want that to be?
どうしたんだよ、ユーマ。今日はなんだかおかしいぞ。
And for some fucking reason, he gave Toru the ability to use a power too. What? Just answer the question, please. It's nothing more than a hypothetical situation.
そうか。もしもか。
An exasperated smile crept to her lips.
そうだな。どこか不思議で特別な力か。大切な人たちが心の中に抱えている辛い部分を切り取ってやれるような、そんな力があったらいいなって、そう思うかな。
Damn, she really thought this through, didn't she? She was ready for someone to ask her that question. Their mental scars?
そうだ。私の生徒たちは、みんながみんな、いろいろと困難な事情を抱えているような子ばかりだったから。そして、
Yeah, but apparently Yuma wanted to make Mio's burden even heavier by including that Toru gains powers and uses them to kill Mio's parents. Right, yep.
ああ。そして、無茶ばかりする、どこかのバカが傷だらけになったりしたときは、その傷をきれいさっぱり治してやれるくらいの何かがあれば、それで完璧かな。
Hey, listen, alright? In my story, in Yuma's story, Kana's the idiot. Yuki brushed her fingers against my grazed cheek. Even that tiny pain warmed my heart. Thanks. I think I finished my diary now. he also had to include that the healing power comes with a disinfectant smell. Like, excuse me? Okay, healing powers exist in other fiction, I guess. You just wanted to make yours unique in some way. At that, I shut the World Notebook. The setting, the characters, and all their backstories. I had managed to finish them all via my conversation with Shinku. This was good enough for now. A complete yet incomplete story. All I needed to do now was bring it back to the witch.
ユーマの日記が出来上がるのに、私は何か役に立てたのか?
You did. You helped a lot.
そうか。十分か。それはよかった。
Shinku.
なんだ、ユーマ。
I'll make you a promise.
約束?
Tonight, you'll go to sleep, and tomorrow when you wake up, this world will be back to what it used to be. The desolate world you see now will be nothing of a forgotten dream.
なるほど。それは素敵な約束だな。
Shinku nodded with a smile, as though she were merely humoring her child. Perhaps I was only able to make her that promise because I knew that she would react thusly.
誰一人として余すことなく、この世界の住人全員が戻ってくるんだな。
Yeah. You'll close your eyes tonight, and when you open them the next morning, all the pain and suffering you've gone through will feel like nothing but a bad dream. Everything will be completely back to normal.
全部が全部完全完璧に元通りか。そいつはいいな。
It'll happen, I promise you. So, Shinku, get yourself a good night's rest tonight. I want you to sleep so deeply, so peacefully, that you don't even dream. That's not how it works.
ああ、もちろんだ。私専用の抱き枕が私に抱きつかれるのを嫌がって逃げ出したり抵抗したりしなければな。
The only reason Yuma doesn't dream is because there aren't any fucking memories in his head for him to dream anything up, right? All of the memories that he has are in the book. That's why he doesn't dream. She ruffled my hair, grinning at me cheekily.
それじゃあユーマ、また今夜にな。遅くならないうちに帰ってこいよ。
With those parting words, Shinku returned to the school. I watched her go until she completely disappeared from my sight. I couldn't bring myself to say goodbye to her. And then he wrote, hey, and then he's like, hey, that'd be a good way for for one of my characters to die. She goes by the name Haku in Kana's route.
もう書き上げたのか？案外と早かったな。
And she dies in Kana's route. I handed the World Notebook to her, and after flicking through the pages, she responded,
なるほど。素晴らしい出来だ。予想以上によく書かれてる。
I thought you didn't want to know what was written in the book so that you don't have any knowledge of the future? Whatever. The witch shut the perfectly imperfect book after a point so that she wouldn't know any more than necessary. Oh, okay. She only read the first chapter. Do you, mind if I choose the title of the book?
この本のタイトルを?
Yeah. I don't mean to suggest that we have to print it on the spine or anything, but I just wanted something that perhaps we could use when mentioning it amongst ourselves.
世界ノートじゃダメなのか？
Well, I just wanted to put forth a different suggestion.
ああ、いいぞ。どんなタイトルにするんだ、この本は。
I inhaled sharply before announcing the title I'd decided upon before arriving back here. A magical place. Fuck, I mean... The book's title will be...
ああ、
Cut to title screen. The Colorful World. I fucking hate you. You. This is. I. Fuck off. That's what I want it to be. I explained. I remember you telling me that we should create and build a colorful world that's both beautiful and magical. So I thought I'd borrow your words for this occasion. This world where we're able to give birth to. It'll be as fragile as a piece of glasswork, as a piece of you could have just said paper, but sure, yet so bright, vibrant, and colorful at the same time. In this fabricated fictitious world of ours, we'll fulfill the wishes of those important to us in order to free them from the sorrows of their hearts. This story will be one that's bright and beautiful. It'll shine colorfully like a rainbow.
なるほど。悪くはないな、そういうの。
And the only reason Suzu's so powerful is because she's pulling the Deadpool technique of this world doesn't exist. So she uses the fourth wall break technique. Though being completely honest, it's pretty cringeworthy, she added with a laugh. Are you being serious right now? The Wall Notebook sounds 10 times more cringeworthy than that.
人のネーミングセンスにケチつけようだなんて、いい根性してるじゃねえか。それにそもそも、私が恥ずかしいと思ったのはタイトルじゃなくて、お前のセリフだ。
Okay, then Yuma could have just named it The Notebook, and then he would have turned it into a rom-com that would have been beloved by many girlfriends and hated by many boyfriends. It became an award-winning book that was adapted into a movie. Despite her criticism, the witch was smiling warmly at me. Shall we get started then? We'll call upon the book's power to give life to the colorful world. I fucking hate. This is how they. Oh, now I get why the game is called The Colorful World. Fuck you. And bring this world to a standstill. Having left the library, I no longer had any special powers whatsoever. I was a mere human, for all intents and purposes. The genesis of one world, as another is frozen in time. Using the power of this book, which contains within it a world of its own, the impossible would become possible.
うん、そうだな。だけど、その前に。
The witch began to clear away some of the books on the floor in order to create enough space for the two of us.
座れよ。少し話をしないか？
You want to chat?
うん。って、そんな警戒するなって。小難しい話はもう終わったんだ。以上終了。準備は万端。お前を驚かせるような事実だとかは、もうどこにも隠されちゃいないよ。だからここからは少し、取り留めのない雑談でもしよう。それくらいの時間はまだあるさ。
The witch picked up one of the books that lay by her side before flicking through it. Yeah, but why?
そうだな。どうしてと聞かれても返答に困るな。ただ私がそうしたい気分だってだけなんだ。無意味なことも時には必要なんだよ。
Oops. A whim, huh?
そうさ。これから人間らしく生きていくっていうのなら、そういうのも少しずつ学んでいけ。なんてな。少し偉そうだったかな。
Well, the first thing, we store our memories in our head. And then the second thing, the witch grinned awkwardly, eliciting a tiny smile from me as well.
たとえ偽物の中でだとはいえ、私たちはこれからの長い時間を一緒に過ごしていくんだ。少しでもギクシャクとした関係を引きずっていては、いろいろとやりにくいだろ。
I think we're on good enough terms already, though.
まあ、そう言うなって。ほら、甘いものもこの通り、用意できる。
She reached her hand into the book he was carrying and pulled out a shortcake. Excuse me, what the fuck? It was the sort of awe-inspiring trick you'd expect to see from a magician during a magic show, as his grand finale.
楽しい話には甘いものが必須だろ。
Wow. How'd you do that?
おう、すごいだろう。もっと褒めてくれてもいいんだぞ。なんつってな。ネタは単純明快なんだけどな。
She just has a fucking fridge full of shortcake. Really?
ああ、ベルだよ。お前から渡されたドアベルだ。
It can just spawn food.
あの場所で、お前から心の中に渡されたあのベルが、私に不思議な力を使えるようにしてくれてるんだ。だけどま、あんまり私には活用の機会のない力ではあるけどな。
What sort of power is it?
本の中のお話に出てくる食べ物を現実に引き出せるとか、そんな程度のものさ。しかもお菓子限定。突き詰めていけば、もっと色々とできるようになるのかもしれないけれど、こんなのは私が使いこなすには、少しファンシーすぎる。そうは思わないか？
I mean, I guess that explains how she was able to sustain herself for however long. The witch smiled cheekily. You seem just like a real witch now.
魔女ね。町の子供たちが私のことをそう呼んでいるのは知ってるが、あまり愉快な呼び名じゃないよな。それってさ。
Hey, that's only because you think of people calling you a witch as a bad thing, alright? Maybe in the 1800s, sure, okay, maybe you'd get burned by the stake if someone called you a witch, but now, it's endearing. Unless you're talking about in hentai, where... You know what? Never mind. I incorporated those details into the story of our fake world.Though of course I couldn't tell her that.
ともかく、色とりどりの世界を起動させる際には、このベルを一緒に返却するよ。
You need to capitalize the T and the as well. Why?
正直邪魔なんだよ、こんなのは。元より怪物じみていた私なのに、加えてこんなバカみたいに不可思議な力も一緒に振り回してちゃ。それこそ本当に人外だ。こんなんじゃ文字通りの魔女になっちまう。この町のガキどもがそう呼んでたみたいにな。まあ、そういうわけで、味の方はどうだ？
Very good.
だろう？イミテーションには思えないくらいの甘さだろ？
Wait, so it isn't real? So it's not real?
ああ、 お腹の中で紙とインクに戻るんだ。
Oh,
おお、すごい渋い顔したな。
I mean, surely not.
写真でも撮ってやりたい顔だったぞ、今の。
You know, I kind of feel like you're just messing with me.
そうだな。お前をからかうのはなんだか少し面白いなって思うよ。新しい発見だ。
See, now her real personality is showing. Seriously? Well, she hated your guts before, so why would she try to tease you then?
そんな不機嫌そうな顔するなよ。ほら、甘いものはいくらでも取り出せるから。砂糖をたくさん食べれば幸せになれるぞ。
She and I then began to chat. Our conversations frequently meandered. We talked about nothing important, noting nothing in particular. Eventually, we ran out of topics to discuss.
最後に一つだけ。お前に質問をしてもいいか？
The witch tossed a square of chocolate into my mouth, then shot me that question.
お前は恋することを諦めると、そう決めたようだけど、本当にそれでいいのか？
Is this still part of your lighthearted chat? Our lighthearted chat?
かもしれないな。質問の方向を変えようか。お前はシンクのことが本気で好きだったのか？
What do you mean?
お前は二階堂シンクと恋したいからと言って、あの場所を何とか脱出してまでこの世界にやってきた。その事情だけを客観的に見てみれば、まあ情熱的なお前の気持ちがそういった行動に駆り立てたのかなとも思えるけど、お前はもう諦めると言った。恋することを。本当にお前はシンクのことが大好きだったのか？それとも、そんな簡単に恋することを諦められるような程度の気持ちだったってことか？
I don't honestly know.
そうか。わからないか。
When I think of her, I feel this sharp aching in my chest. And from what I've been told by someone, that's a sign that you're in love. But looking back, it might have just been a mirage that I was chasing all this time.
幻か。なるほどね。
There is one other thing though. Whenever Shinku says that she loves me, even though I know full well that she doesn't mean it in a romantic sense, the aching in my chest worsens. I hate it. It kills me. If this sad, painful, lonely feeling is what love truly is, then I don't want to feel that way, this way.
それじゃあ、お前は一体何が欲しくて恋をしようと思ったんだ？
Well, I was originally a human. I was born alone and died alone. I had never been loved once in my entire life. Sometimes I cursed God for doing this to me. I hated anyone and everyone. I was always alone. I was always lonely. So I prayed one last time during my final moments. I prayed to the God that I'd spent my whole life resenting and said, God, if you're listening, please let me be loved in my next life. But my wish would never come true. Once I went to the beyond, I was imprisoned there. I'd long given up on anyone ever acknowledging me or showing me compassion. So at this point, I don't care if that person is Shinku or not. I don't care if their feelings for me aren't love in the romantic sense.
優しくされるなら恋じゃなくてもいい？
Right. When Aya told me about her sister in the library, I developed the impression that Shinku would cherish me unconditionally. I just wanted someone to tell me. I just wanted someone to need me, to treat me like I mattered to them. I thought Shinku would be that person, but I completely misunderstood. That isn't a romantic love at all.
どうしてだか、興味を惹かれたあの子に、実際に会ってみたらとても優しくしてくれた。それが、嬉しかった？
I think so. I'm convinced that I must have mistaken what happiness for love. Mistaken that happiness for love. That's the only reason my chest has been aching whenever I think of her. Alright, let's stop our chat here. It's time to enact the end of the world. We'll pause Shinku's life, end this world in its entirety. Right here and right now. The witch pulled at her hair frustratingly. I'd caught her doing this often whenever she was stressed or upset over something. It was like a habit of sorts. However, I didn't honestly know why she was doing it now.
お前の言うことは嘘ばかりだな。
She then heaved a sigh. Huh?
なんでもない。忘れてくれ。
Seriously.
ともかくこの本だ。確かによく書けてると思うよ。この短時間でよくやったと思う。でもな、この物語には一つだけ不自然に足りないものがあるんじゃないのかな。
I only plan to read the parts pertaining to you, since I'm going to be playing the role of your supporter. But I couldn't help but notice this, the witch murmured. Something's absent?
どうしてシンクをこんな形で配置した？お前たちは二人一緒に願いを叶えていくんだろう？それなのにどうしてまるで守護霊みたいな形でお前のそばに控えているような存在に設定したんだ？お前以外の誰にも彼女を見ることをできないようにして。
He's a bit possessive, isn't he? I just want to be her vessel. I'll be the vehicle, and she'll be the one calling the shots. Whatever she instructs me to do, I will. I'll deal with all the bothersome aspects that come with having a corporeal body so that she doesn't have to. I want to be able to fulfill Shinku's wish without her having to struggle for it.
嘘だな。その説明は理にかなっていないぞ。しかも、彼女が願いを叶えるための力を使うと、その代償として彼女ではなくて、お前が記憶を失わなければならないような条件にわざわざしているのはどういうわけだ？
Because any great power has to come at a cost. Whenever you gain something, you have to lose something of equal value in exchange. I wanted to respect that law in the new world too. What fucking law? It doesn't exist in this world. What are you talking about?
律儀だな。と言いたいが、それもやっぱりどこか嘘くさいな。
I guess one of the people who went to the beyond was a fan of Full Metal Alchemist.
お前、わざとあの子をこういう形に設定したんじゃないのか？
Yeah, so that no one else could have her.
あの子が普通に世界の一部として目の前に立っていたら辛くなるから。恋をしたい。そんな自分の願いを叶えることをつい優先してしまいそうになるんじゃないかと不安に思ったんじゃないのか、お前は。そして力を使えば使うだけ、二階堂真空に関する記憶から優先的に、その質量が軽くなっていくのも、お前自身が恋をしたいっていう気持ちを忘れたいからじゃないのか。それとも、お前は真空そのものを忘れてしまいたいと、 そう願っているのか？
I
ないのか？本当に？お前は加上優馬の名前を語ることを続けている。シンクが恋していた相手の名前だと、お前がそう思い込んでいる名前だ。
He also wrote in the book that Kana has a fake he's using a fake name the whole time. And the only reason she's using the name Minami Kana is because she forgot her real name after she was transported to a world with memory-eating butterflies. With memory-eating parasitic butterflies. Excuse me? I knew the story was convoluted, but I didn't expect it to be in universe.
それは一体どういうつもりでのそれなんだ？
Well, I just couldn't think of any other name for myself.
そうか。なるほどね。まあいい。そういうことにしておこうか。そういったお前の気持ちは、まあ尊重しよう。一度書き込まれたものだ。そう容易には削除もできないだろう。
Still, the witch continued, looking me squarely in the eye.
勝手だな。シンクの気持ちをちゃんと考えたのか？
Why does that matter, though? It's going to be a fictitious world.
それでもちゃんとみんな生きてる。この世界を展開させれば、その時点で、彼女たちは立派な生命体として生を受けるんだ。そんな彼女の気持ちを、お前はちゃんと考えたのか？お前以外の誰とも接触できない彼女の気持ちを。それにシンクの願いを叶えるというのなら、お前のそばに立つシンクを写本にしてしまっては意味がない。そうだろう？お前はシンクに、シンク自身の願いを叶えることを体験させたいはずなのに、それなのに、その対象が写本だなんておかしいだろ？
Well,
やっぱり、そばにシンクがいると辛いから？意味がないんだよ、そんなのは。結果にこそ真の意味があったとしても、その過程が空っぽじゃ虚しいだけだ。
you don't understand. The process doesn't matter. All that matters is the result. As long as I'm able to make it back to the Great Library of the Beyond and return everyone I trapped there to where they belong, nothing else matters. I made a promise. The one thing which matters above all else. In order to attain it, and only it, all I needed was this story and this fake world. That I could get her to understand the one rule of this world, which I hadn't yet shared with her.
決めた。
Huh?
決めたよ。私はお前の願いを叶えることに決めた。恋をしたいっていうお前の願いを。
Wait, slow down. Where is this coming from?
これでも私はお前に対して少なからず申し訳ないとそう感じてもいるんだよ。
What?
それにこれは最初の契約だからだ。私たちの出会いはそういう前提で成り立っているものだ。そして契約っていうのは絶対に違えられることのない約束を指す。そうだろう？
Look, I don't care about the contract anymore, so...
ダメだな。お前は正しく誰かを好きになることを知った方がいい。そんな気がするよ。それに、お前は言ったな。シンクの願いを叶えると。ユーマ、わかってるとは思うが、シンクの願いは自分の生徒たちの願いを叶えることだ。 それにはもちろん、お前だって含まれているんだよ。
Huh? Oh, wait.
この物語の二階堂真空は、お前を含めた全員の願いをできる限り叶えていこうとするだろう。お前がそれを望んだからだ。私がそれをこれから、この本に書きつけるからだ。あらすじを曖昧に設定しておいてよかったな。ストーリーを暫定的にし、強固なものにしておかなくてよかったな。決められた枠内で彼女はお前の願いを叶えるため、自由に考え行動し、目的を成し遂げていくはずだ。
Wait, that's not what I intended. I stretched out my arm to grab the book back from the witch, wanting to rip out that part so that I could rewrite it, but she swiftly evaded.
私はシンクとお前の願いを尊重するよ。影に日向に応援していく。
Listen to me. I said that I don't want that. This couldn't be happening. If my wish were to be fulfilled, then I would never be able to return to the library. That was one of this world's laws. If that happened, I'd never save Kana and the others.
お前はこの世界の中で二階堂真空と一緒に恋を学んでいくことになる。何か想像できないような奇跡が重なって、お前と真空が付き合うようなこともあるかもしれない。
Wouldn't that be sweet? The witch remarked, grinning slightly, maliciously. Grinning slightly maliciously. You should view this as an opportunity to inspect your heart and determine who it is that you're truly in love with.
そうだな。お前たち二人が愛し合う。もしもそうなった場合のことを考えて、真空にはもう少しだけ特別に細工をしておかなくちゃいけないかもな。
Wait, no, please don't. She didn't know anything. What she was about to do had the potential to ruin everything.
お前たちは恋していく。それには今現在のこの記憶は邪魔だよな。恋をするっていう願いを諦めちまったこの記憶はさ。
The witch ripped out a certain page from the book. It was the page which contained all of my memories. Damn.
もう一度真っ白な心で大好きな人に会いに行け。今度はそんな胸が痛いだけのものじゃない。本物に出会えるように祈ってる。
Stop, please. Stop, you can't do this.
恋をしろ、ユーマ。お前が自由に誰かを好きになることで、二階堂真空は救われる。
He ripped it and shredded it.
それから先に、また何か問題が起こるようなことがあったなら、その時は、そこからまた考えていけばいい。
My memories had been completely and utterly destroyed. At that point, I blacked out.
ごめんな、ユーマ。
What?
それじゃあ、またな。色とりどりの世界で、また出会えることを、楽しみに待ってるよ。
Capital T, though. The witch's thin, bellowing voice echoed throughout the darkness of my mind. Soon after, I awoke. It felt like an eternity had passed.
恋をしようか。
She'd been waiting for me to wake up, watching me with those crimson red eyes. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was. My chest ached terribly. I didn't know what this feeling was.
私と一緒に恋することを勉強していこう。これからずっとよろしくな。ユーマ。
God damn it. Upon seeing that smile, I felt an aching in my chest, and I didn't know why. The throbbing of my heart almost felt, to me, like a distant, defining memory clamoring within me.